Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football channel. This is the BH and Scrubber Show, and we like the Washington Commanders for a very good reason after this last weekend's game. Today's program, we are going to recap that game, and next Friday or Saturday, we're going to do a preview for the Bills. So don't forget to turn in for that game next by the end of the week. And then, of course, on Sunday, the live reaction show right here on the What the Football channel, where I will be calling the play-by-play for the Commanders versus the Bills. And, of course, BH will be in the chat room answering all your questions. And here is the man right here. BH, how are you doing?
Man, doing great. What a game. It was incredible to see them come back. I wish it wasn't so close at the end, but hey, we prevailed, and that's what's most important. Yeah, it was just a great game to watch, to see that defense be what we wanted them to be. I mean, it didn't start off that way, but boy, that second half, they just choked them. And then to see the offense, particularly Sam Howell, I mean, the guy really is showing that he's got what it takes. I just enjoyed all of it. You know, there's a few things that need to be worked on, and I think we'll talk a little bit about that. But mostly, this is a real positive show because, I mean, except for a slow start by both groups, you know, they couldn't quite get hitting on all cylinders. Man, once they got going, they were great. So,
Yep.
What'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was good. It seemed to mirror what was going on with the Cardinals game. You know, a little slow going, but I think that's more they have a game plan. They're watching the game, and then they adjust. And we always used to adjust at the half or something like that. But now I see them adjusting mid-game. So we did it against the Cardinals, and we've done it against the Broncos. I saw that clearly going on throughout the game. You know, the offense really did start out pretty good. Just a couple things stumped them. I think we fumbled. It kind of pushed them out of the way of the field goal. I think we had some penalties or something that kind of slowed some of those drives down, but they were doing good. And then, of course, about midway through the second quarter, the big change happened. So that was good.
Yeah, it was. And I think last week we kind of weren't happy. We kind of were joking. It seemed sort of like a, you know, let's we always joke about Norv Turner Jr. and it just seemed very similar. It just didn't seem that we were waiting for the more dynamic Eric Bieniemy slash Andy Reid style of offense. And in this week we got it.
We did.
And we and we really did. We were always saying too before that Scott Turner, his screenplays seemed to be sort of only when the quarterback was flushed out, or even when they were designed, they seemed to be poorly designed, easily read by the other team. And then we talked a lot about, you know, Bieniemy and coming from that offense that they always like to work their guys open. Even Travis Kelce. Like they even said, you know, just because he's a stud, we don't make him go out there and beat everybody. We work those plays in such a way that we work those guys open. It's a plan. It's specific, and you saw it, man. I mean, Robinson and Gibson just blew out some great screenplays, man. That was fun. I think that's only going to get better. You know, because now because the players see it, they know what they have to do. The receivers. Going downfield to block. The offensive linemen were out there on a ton of plays. And I think the offensive linemen kind of dig that, where they can just jump out, rotate out, get out there. And so that was fun to watch. And just the whole thing and how the way he, you know, works everybody in. He throws everyone gets a pass, man, right? It's like Oprah Winfrey. Everyone gets a pass. Everyone gets a touchdown, you know? And it's really true, man. I mean, that's gotta be hell on earth.
Yeah.
When you're a defense, when even John Bates is going like down the sideline, boom.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you're throwing deep to that guy?
Yeah.
He's like seventh on your list of guys that we have to worry about. And now here he is just ripping down the sideline. So that's kind of what we want to see, some dynamics, some cool, fun plays. Just saw so much out of Sam Howell. I mean, just to think third game. and to see him playing that well on the road in Mile High, man, that just portends great things happening. And then we really did kind of get a peek at what we want from Eric Bieniemy. And I just think those two things, Sam Howell will continue to grow. There'll be ups and downs. Bieniemy's schemes and his play calling, there will be ups, there will be downs, but they're all trending up. It all looks good. It can only get better in my mind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like that, Eric. Before the season started, everybody was saying, "Oh, we got Sam Howell as this new quarterback. Oh, we got Eric Bieniemy as our new offensive coordinator. Oh, we got our new owner." And those were the things that were supposed to make the difference. And you can start to see it coming. It really looked good in that game. Them guys really look sharp. And to your point about spreading the ball around, how does the defense defend against that? Sure, you got Terry McLaurin, and he's super stud. Or you can't just game scheme for him, or you can't just game scheme for B Rob, because then you got Gibby back there too, and you got uh, all our tight ends. Well, one of them is in concussion protocol. We'll get to that maybe a little later too. But and all our
Yeah.
other guys, Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel, they all caught a couple passes each or a few passes each. All of our tight ends caught passes. Bates, Cole Turner, Logan Thomas, all of them caught passes. Our running backs from the back all caught passes. We even had Pringle in there catching a pass. It's going to be very difficult for defenses to scheme against that, and I like that. I really
Yeah.
like spreading it around. Now, it's not good for your fantasy football. It's not good for a guy to have over 1,000 yards or whatever catches in a season, but it's going to be
Yeah.
winning play is what I like about it. Spread that ball around, keep them guessing as what you're going to do. And like you said, the screenplay, I can't stand screenplays. The teams that I've ever liked, like the Seahawks and people, it just never works. Some teams screens work, they look beautiful. And I even have my doubts at the beginning of the season, but and even in that first game against the Cardinals, you could kind of see it getting rolling. They were trying, but in this game, you could really see that screenplay work, and it was really wonderful to watch.
Yeah, it was. And I think another thing about spreading everyone around and everyone gets to play, it's hard on the defense. You can't just, like you said, you can't just scheme one side of the field, put a safety deep over this top guy. But it also helps our guys because you're always got to be ready. You run your route and be there because, the quarterback is going to look, he's going to pre-snap read that, and you might be the guy. He's going to look at the safety and he's going to look and he's going to go, I'm going over here. So be ready. Everyone who's out there, don't just run your fake, go, oh, I'm just going to run this route to clear out the linebacker. No, you run your route and be ready. It's everyone can get a piece. I just, one thing that was fun, you talk about screens. I'm going to tell you, man, for me, the MVP of that game, the best player, and it wasn't on defense. And maybe it's because been so hard on him. And I ride him, is Sadiq Charles.
He did good.
Sadiq was unbelievable, dude. He was out on those screens.
Yes.
He was out on the screen he's a left guard, dude. He was out on that one screen on the right side of the field. I think it was him and Jahan were just running down. They had no one to block. Yeah. They were just running, looking for somebody. Yeah. They were so out of it, they blew it. But Sadiq was out there, and then there was one short yardage, 3rd and short, where we did a power blocking scheme, and then a touchdown to Robinson. Both times they pulled Sadiq. He went into the gap. Yeah. And what was interesting, both times, once they went in with who's our 4th-string running back, that young man that we just drafted,
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez sort of set up to the left off the line, and when the play was called, Rodriguez went into the gap, Sadiq went in behind him, and then they did the same play but with one of the tight ends. I couldn't see who it was, but they did that same kind of play. So Sadiq was all over. He was mashing guys. He was running into the gap so well. And I tell you, when Eric Bieniemy came, when he first showed up, and a lot of players showed up, Terry showed up, Sam Howell, the leaders of the team were there, but not everyone came. Just some of the leaders and some other guys. But one guy that was there was Sadiq Charles. And I remember saying, what's Sadiq doing there? What's going on? He's been half-assed. He hadn't been that good. He's been a disappointment. And what I said at the time was maybe this scheme, he knows what Andy Reid runs, and he's pretty sure Eric Bieniemy is going to run it. Maybe that kind of pulling scheme, that kind of, I don't know. Maybe he knew, oh, good, this is what I do. Finally, I'm going to get a chance. This is where I excel. Because I'm telling you, man, that guy has gone in at left guard and just dominated. So anyway, I just have to say that because I was so hard on the guy.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah. So anyway, the O-line, there's some hits and there's some misses. They did better later than earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's serviceable. It's good by me. So yeah, they did great.
Hey, let's put it this way.
Getting used to it.
Yeah. And whose O-line would you rather have? Ours or Denver's?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because Denver, you think we're hard on our O-line, dude. How many sacks did we get?
Yep.
I think we got, was it 7 sacks?
7 against our 4 on Sam.
Exactly. So I mean, we're hard on our O-line, and their O-line got rocked.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah. I got a couple other things here. I thought Gibby did good. I saw him holding the rock like it was, dude. I watched every play he had the ball, and then that dump off to him. That's why you want to get the dump off to him and get him into open space. It's exactly why you do that.
Yep.
Did great. I thought B-Rob did really good. Obviously, trying to run. He did great. Trying to run through the tackles was a little tough. I think that's the blocking scheme, but he rolled out of a few of them, broke off a couple long ones. He caught 1 or 2. He made that 2-point conversion. I think he scored 2 of the touchdowns.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, and they tried to take away the 2-point conversion, but
yeah, I looked at that. They looked at it for a second, but that final look, it was over. He had his arm out. You could see it was clearly across the line. That was no problem. So B-Rob did great. I think Curtis Samuel had a jet sweep, did pretty good. So as far as the running game was concerned, I thought that went really, really good. So they ran the rock like they're supposed to. The rock opens up the pass. The pass opens up the run. So
it was. And I think both runners were impressive, because the one thing that Gibson has that a lot of players in general don't have is that guy has got a 3rd and a 4th speed. Most guys that are fast, they just go and they're quick. As he was running that thing, he was starting to go. Boy, if their safety hadn't gotten him, he was going all the end zone, because he just accelerated as he ran. Super talented guy. We've always known it. And the nicest thing about Robinson, I wasn't that impressed with him last year. I mean, I saw him. He seemed like he'd hit the line hard, and he was great for that 3.5 yards that you need, and pretty tough runner. There's no doubt about it. But this game, what I saw was a guy that actually took his time and was very calm. On a lot of runs, he came in and he just slowed down when he got to the line. Now when it was 3rd and 3 or 2nd and 2, he crashed the line. He just boom. But on regular plays, man, he took his time and waited and didn't panic within all that. And then he broke and he ran. So super patient running from him. So I think, they talk about the game slowing down. I think the game's slowing down for him. So he doesn't feel like that need to get the ball and then crash right through. Like, get the ball, go for your gap, or if they're sliding the line, slide with, find your hole and go. And I saw a lot of that. So 2 different kind of runners, and they both did great.
Yep. Let's see. What else do I got here? On offense, lots of weapons, spreading the love. I thought Sam was doing good with throwing the ball away and not taking sacks. He just threw it away. I like that. That's important to me. I mean, it hurts his stats, but who gives a shit about that? He's not taking a sack, and he's not hurrying and throwing an interception. Just go back and try again. That's all.
Yep. And he had some good, and he had good runs too. He broke out of the pocket.
He did. Got a first down for us. Threw some great passes. The one to Terry, obviously. The one to Logan Thomas. That was on a 4th and goal. Ballsy by the coach,
dude.
It was a fourth down,
That
fourth
and
and
that's I'm
goal.
glad you brought that up because that was ballsy by the
It was.
coaches, and that was ballsy all around because Sam put that on a dime, and then boy, poor Logan Thomas got
Yeah.
decked.
Yeah, yeah. Kareem Jackson hit him, headhunting. So they threw him out of the game. And I was even saying it, even before I knew they threw him out of the game. I was saying disqualify him. He's out because he did it the week before. And hopefully he gets some kind of suspension. I think he deserves it. You do shit like that 2 weeks in a row, especially like jumping up into him in the end zone. He already had the ball. It's just totally,
Yep,
totally, totally uncalled for. So people like that need to be out of the game. So
yep,
that is
yeah, and
vertebrae
I'm
type.
hope we see something about that because that was really bad. And a few people pointed that out that he had done it the week before too. So,
I
um,
pointed it out
yeah,
from the
so
week before I watched it. So
yeah, you sure did. You
yeah,
were
I
on.
did,
And what was
dude.
funny in our pregame before the game, we brought him up
Yeah, yeah.
that they cheat. They're a heavy
Mhm.
penalized team, and he was a guy that we pointed to. You know,
Mhm.
as being a late hit artist. And heck, man,
They had 10
there it was.
penalties. Their first week they had 10. This game they had 9.
10?
Yeah, the first game they had 10. This game they had 9. They got 19 penalties in 2 games. But that just reflects
Jesus.
their win-loss record. When you, like you always say, dude, if you're no good at the game, you got to take shortcuts. You got to cheat. You got to hold a
Yep.
little. You got to pull a little. You got to try and make somebody feel some pain so they're not as good as they normally would be. So they're not 100%. And that's just Bush League play. And they deserve to be in the cellar.
Yeah.
They deserve to be in the cellar because they got fucking Russell Wilson. If that would be the only thing.
Exactly.
They bet on the
Well,
wrong
yeah,
horse
so the
there,
O
boy.
was great.
Mm-hmm.
They did, man. O was great and dynamic. So we're looking for good things from them. So, but the defense, man, that front
Yeah.
four, I mean, when I watched that replay, they would send a linebacker or one of the safeties in every now and then. But for the most part, man, it was just 4-man rush.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone contributed. You know, even James Smith Williams got in there. Casey Toohill had a great game. Abdullah,
Yeah.
John Ridgway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone was contributing. So even when our main guys went out, there was Casey Toohill, you know, and gosh, man, Abdullah almost even had an interception at one point.
That was so close.
I mean, it came on him so fast. Poor
It
guy.
did.
And he was so bummed because for
He
D linemen,
it.
those opportunities don't come. He did. And, you know, our DBs did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I know Forbes, got burned a few times. But I saw Forbes actually drop 2 interceptions, but I don't mean dropped. They kind of hit his hand, but they weren't really that catchable. That guy has a nose for the ball because if you notice on his interception, man, that receiver just kept going on the go route. Wilson expected him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that Forbes was, you know, in classic zone coverage, watching the quarterback, watching his guy, and he probably saw Russell Wilson turn those shoulders, and he goes, "Oh crap, he's going to the flat." And he did, and he was there. There was no one around him. But see, that was smart. He knew when Russell Wilson turned those shoulders that the receiver was probably supposed to do a comeback and not go straight. And so he got it. He did drop it, but he picked it up, and he had 2 others that hit his hands. So he was a mixed bag. But man, that's his second NFL game, dude.
Yeah,
right.
I was happy with his play. Yep.
And I think Jamin saved the game. I think he turned that game around with that tackle because we were against it. You know, at that point, down 21-3, they had a great punt return. They're on the 50. We're on the road. I'll be honest with you, it didn't look good. And Jamin comes across, rips Russ down, ball comes out, Cody Barton falls on it, and then we were a different team. It's like we were just waiting for a little hope or something. But anyway, that ignited it. And so we got to give it. And Jamin had a high PFF grade. That's the highest single game PFF he's ever had, like almost by a mile. Nice. So, man, if Jamin's getting it, that's good. Now, on the flip side, I probably think the lowest rated PFF guy was Cody Barton. And we did not need PFF to tell us that.
Right. Because
during the game. Dude, during the game, you were all over it, man. He was, he was out on coverage, and he seemed to he was like just not in the space to tackle. Like he was showing up 3 seconds late. So his timing was off. But I'll tell you what, he had a terrible PFF last week. He had like a 36 Pro Football Focus. This week he had a 44.
Okay.
So, hey, we'll take improvement because look, let's remember, Cody Barton never started. He was only special teams. When someone got hurt, he went in. He's never been the guy. And this is a new scheme. He's learning our scheme. Now, I don't think scheme is that as important as a guy being able to play every down. You can imagine what this guy's learning. And he played 100% of the snaps in that game, dude. 100%. He was in on every play. So that shows me they believe in him.
Yeah, he's the green dot, kept saying, right?
Exactly. But David Mayo could do the green dot. They could bring him in. But I think that just shows, okay, we know he's struggling, but we know this guy's going to get it. And, when you go from 36 to 44 and towards the second half, right, all of a sudden he's making tackles. All of a sudden he's starting to be where he's supposed to be. And you know what? He should have gotten credited with a half sack on that one play. I watched it over and over again because someone had gotten him and he came in. He smoked Russell Wilson on that play. Yep. That was awesome to see because we always want to see the other players get legally hammered. We want to take them down a notch. So anyway, I mean, Cody was without a doubt, PFF and WTF completely concur. He was the weakest player. But you know what? If your weakest player is new and he's young and he's getting better, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. So let's look for Cody and to keep making some steps forward and getting better because I mean someone's got to be the weakest, the least rated player. It's just going to happen. So
trending in the right direction. That's all I want to say. Are you trending in the right direction? It doesn't matter the number. It just matters, are you on the up? And so I let up on him after a while. I saw him doing a couple good things. He actually was being more aggressive towards the ball instead of being pedestrian. And so I saw some good things from him. So, I think that second tackle, I think was him and Duran, I thought.
Yeah.
He got in there.
Yeah, Duran got him low, and he came in and, boom, just finished him off. So, boy, if Jamin and him can bring their games up, I mean, that really going into the season, the linebacking crew, we always thought that if there was ever a weaker crew, compared to the safeties, the corners, and the lines, it was our linebackers. And, I think they're both trending up. And Jamin having that great PFF score and really coming in and turning that game around on that play, him and Cody together. Quite frankly,
seem to turn the team around. That's why we talk on this channel about penalties, about turnovers, about flags, about missed catches. Those are all momentum breakers, and so it works the other way as well. And we went from losing 3 turnovers in the first game to 0 turnovers in the second game at +2.
Right.
Game. So we went down from -2 in the first game to +2 in the second game. So I think in total we're at 0. So we're not plus or minus. So we gained back. So, and it ruined Denver.
Yeah.
You could see it. It just sucked them dry.
Yep. They weren't the same. And then we had deflected passes, 7 sacks, chased them all over the place. He made some plays out of the pocket because that's what he does. But I mean, that's not sustainable. And so even though he made plays out of the pocket, that you can't just rely on that. Now, I hate to bring it up, but we brought in some long snappers this week.
I know
because the Cheeseman's struggling.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Someone was asking the question, and I asked the question too. Was I had heard, he's got this new technique, and he's trying this new technique. You dumb fucker. Dude, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Leave it alone. These people, I don't understand it. So to me, that's what changed.
Yeah.
If you're trying some new thing when the other thing was working fine, who gives a shit? Leave it alone. And you know how these guys are what do you call that? Suspicious, not suspicious, but what's the word? Break a mirror, whatever.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? They're just everything.
Yeah, it's like.
So, but I didn't think that snap was too bad. I didn't think that snap where we missed a 49. Truss got a hold of it and got it down. I didn't see
Yeah.
it as being that bad, and supposedly everything else looked good. So
Yeah, it's just one of those things when you're the kicker and you see the ball gliding 2 inches off the ground. It does sort of,
yeah,
you want it to be like click, click, and also that just the idea of that happening kind of puts the mojo on everybody. Like,
it
whoa, what the
does.
hell was that?
Right.
Um, I will
Should be
say this
automatic.
though, when he missed the 59er,
Yeah.
59 yarder, which is, hey, they went for it.
Yeah.
Um, that thing was wide right, but man, it hit the net high up.
Mm-hmm.
He had the leg. The
Mm-hmm.
leg was there. I don't think that was a joke when Ron sent him in, especially at Mile High. I mean, if you're
Mm-hmm.
going to kick a 59 yarder, do it there. So it's just too bad he couldn't have got his leg around a little bit more because he had plenty of leg, dude.
Yep.
So anyway, so Joey did good. Just Cheeseman. So kind of like right now. So let's hope. I don't know, man. I haven't heard that they've signed anyone, so I have to check it out.
Yep.
We'll see.
Trustway boomed like a long one, and
Whew.
then we pinned him down. Like
Yep.
late in the game, he pinned him down way down to about the 13, and then their very first play, that dumbass did illegal motion and dropped them back to the 8 yard line again. So that Trust did
Yep.
really, really good. I like their special teams. Uh,
Yep.
can't ask for more than that.
No, yeah, it was like a 66 yarder or something. It was some monster.
Yeah,
Boo. Yeah,
blasted it.
and but to your point, I think we are in agreement that instead of a 59 yarder, why not let Tressway just pin him? I
That's
mean, we
true.
gave him real good field position, and that's a low percentage chance. I mean, I think the percentages are, hey man, come on, I know it's Mile High, but let Tress just boom one and make them start down at their 15 or 20
Yep.
instead of, they got the ball like almost at the 49 or something. So, or, they got real good field position out of that. So that was the one coaching decision I kind of disagreed with.
Right. Right. No, I agree. So, relative to some of the other coaching shit they did, they had no timeouts early in the first quarter, no red flag bullshit. Actually, the first red flag in the first game, they threw a red flag because they thought it was a first down, and I believe coach was correct. I believe they
Yes,
made the wrong call there. I thought he was over the line, and that was a first down against the Cardinals. That
I
was a
totally
correct call
agree.
by coach. So to
Yeah.
me, their coaching calls have been a lot better since Zampese's been doing the what is he, a time clock manager, game
Yep.
manager, whatever he
It's
is.
almost like
So
game manager, sideline manager. Yeah. Whatever
yeah,
that is. Yeah.
yeah,
Zampese's doing that. And that's good, man. Let's coach, free up to coach, check his assistants, talk to his assistants. Hey, what's going on? Here's what I think we should be doing. He can actually be the CEO of the team instead of going, wow, do I throw the red thing? What do you think? Should we go for two or one? He shouldn't be. Zampese should be in his ear. One. Just, go for one,
yeah.
or go for two,
Mm-hmm.
knowing the time. And we always complain that it's situational football. And they didn't know they did really well. So, yeah, great game. Super happy. You got anything else for us?
No, I just want to say kudos to like Deron Payne, uh, and that D line, just incredible, incredible stuff. Lots of sacks. We're gonna need them to be on point against. Russ is a good practice for a scrambling quarterback because Josh Allen is coming up. So I thought they did a good job there. I thought this was a good learning, fifth preseason game. So yeah, no, I don't know if I have anything else. I'm gonna say Chase did great. I thought the adjustments mid game were good. Uh, the turnovers, the penalties, we got good sacks against them. Yeah, I covered the fourth down TD and that 2 point going for that 2 point conversion saved the game. If they didn't
Yep.
make it, that touchdown at the end of the game would have actually just tied the game. That Hail Mary would have tied the game. But because we got the 2 point conversion,
Yeah.
it forced them to go for the 2 point conversion. So, that's smart coaching right there, you could say, going for that 2 point
Yeah.
conversion.
I totally agree with that.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So I think that's it for me. I had Cheeseman on there. Oh, we almost had Abdullah almost had it, but the Derek Forrest missed that interception. God, hit him right in the freaking hands.
Yeah.
So that was a
I
tough one.
know.
Ouch. So And the only
Yeah,
thing about the
we
Hail
had, and I
Mary,
think we.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
you
gonna
go ahead. I know what you're going to say about the Hail Mary.
bat it down. You should be like swatting down and not trying to catch it, not trying to do anything. Volleyball that fucker to the ground as hard as you can. And so I think they learned the lesson there.
Yeah,
They do practice it, but I think lesson learned. Bat it
yeah.
down.
I
Don't
think
try and
that's one
catch
thing.
it.
Yeah, yeah. And they got to see it in real life and why it
Yep.
doesn't work. Just get
Yep.
that ball down. So,
Yep.
yeah, that was a 1 in a million. They got lucky.
Yeah, they got lucky.
But it was great to see us get 35 points.
Yes.
So,
High
well, look,
scoring.
man, we got to get ready for our Bills pregame, maybe Friday or Saturday. We'll put the show up. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me. You let me
Yep.
know. I already did a little bit of my homework on it. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be at
Yep.
home, but we're going to have crowd advantage. There might be some Bills fans there, you know, but I think
Oh yeah.
our people are going to
Yep.
be, most of our people in the stands, as opposed of the last years where it's like half Eagles fans in the stands or whatever, half Bills
Yeah.
fans in the stands. So we'll have that advantage. We'll have the advantage coming off this good game and everything. I don't think anybody came out too worse for wear. I think Logan Thomas is still in concussion protocol. And that's about the only, Duran limped off, but he came back in. I think Cosme had shoulder problems, but I think he's all right. So I think we
Yeah, he
got,
was only. Yeah, Cosme only went out for one play.
yeah, Ricky Stromberg came in. So yeah,
Exactly.
I think we're looking good. Usually by this time we're injury prone and all kinds of stuff. So I think we are really set up for this upcoming Bills game. So
Yeah.
everybody, watch that game. Watch our show at the end of the week. It'll be a nice preview. I'll go over all the stuff. BH always does his homework. So
Yep. Yeah. We'll have injury reports, and for both teams, we'll know what's going on. We'll be able to study them, know what's going on with those guys. So, all right, man, good show, and I'm looking forward to that pregame.
right on. Thanks, everybody.
All right, everybody.